Hello, Blackhawks Nation. Welcome to Blackhawks Daily, your favorite recap of the daily buzz around your Chicago Blackhawks. I'm your host, PJ, and again, as always, thank you for tuning in during this extremely dry and very slow off-season. Definitely not a lot going on. So we're just trying to scrape the old barrel, trying to bring you whatever little tidbits we can, keep the Hawks front of mind, keep the jonesing at bay until the puck drops October 7th, until we can start talking about some training camp stuff in the middle of September, but we're almost there. I'm taping today on Thursday, August 14th. The only reason why I'm pointing that out is because it's my birthday, so it's like a national holiday. So I hope this day for you guys is fantastic. For me, it's great. I'm wearing a shirt that I used to wear for one of my kids. She's now like 24. So anyway, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Let's get into the top 4 topics of today. So there is a reason why Mr. Nick Felino has a C on his sweater, and he continues to remind us all why. As he enters his age 38 season, Nick Felino is doing far more than just wearing the C, he's embodying it. In addition to maintaining a steady on-ice impact year over year, despite a reduced role, Felino continues to lead by example, whether it's delivering hits, blocking shots, or mentoring the next generation of Blackhawks. He has embraced a shifting role with minimal complaint, reinforcing the team's culture through action. At age 37, Felino played 78 games for the Hawks last year, tallying 15 goals and 20 assists for 35 points and an average ice time of about 15.55 minutes per game. So 15 minutes, 55 seconds per game. His output was comparable to that of the prior season, 23-24, when he recorded 37 points, 17 goals, and 20 assists, over 74 games with a higher ice time of around almost 17 minutes and 45 seconds. Felino also delivered 200 hits last season, leading the team in that category by a wide margin, alongside 34 blocked shots, 16 takeaways, and 50 giveaways. He was second on the team in faceoffs taken with 704 and registered a 48.4 faceoff win rate. These numbers highlighted his heavy physical presence, defensive responsibility, and willingness to battle in every zone, all hallmarks of an impactful leadership on the ice. So he's reminding everyone why he's still captain material for the Hawks. His impact on the Blackhawks transcends the on-ice product too. General Manager Kyle Davidson lauded his commanding presence and mentorship and credited him with helping the team find its identity both on and off the ice. Felino holds his team to a high standard, demanding better performance. He's a vocal leader and who is not afraid to step in when needed and drop the gloves in an effort to rally the troops and ignite a comeback. Felino has earned the respect of his teammates, nurturing unity and maintaining team focus. And in May of this year, when Blashill took over as head coach, Felino didn't hesitate to publicly endorse the new direction. He stressed unity and accountability, even subtly calling out those who chose to leave, a tone-setting act from the captain. Felino's leadership and influence is tangible every day, whether he's rallying the locker room, pushing teammates to be better, or delivering clutch moments on the ice. He's proving not just that he is captain material, but he continues to be that day in and day out. And also in the commonplace in civilian life with his brother doing the cancer foundation for his late mom. He's a leader all day, every day. So hats off to Mr. Felino. Love having him on the team. Such a great presence. So there are 3 players this season that are kind of on the hot seat. They kind of have to redeem themselves. One, we've talked about all 3 of these, one of whom I'm a big fan of, and I really hope he kind of pulls it together, but let's talk about him. 2 of these players got to bounce back from disappointing seasons. The other must prove that he belongs, which I think he does, but let's get into it. Obviously, Blackhawks are not expected to be in a Stanley Cup this season. And if we make it to the playoffs, I think that'll be a very pleasant surprise for us. But it will be nice for us to see some really good individual performances from players. Connor Bedard taking the next step towards stardom, obviously would be awesome. Frank Nazar joining him as an all-star would be fantastic. Would go along towards long way towards making this whole rebuilding really successful. The Hawks have a collection of exciting young defensemen. It'll be great to see a couple of them take some big strides forward. A bonus would be of a couple of these players redeeming themselves this season. First one up, a guy that I love, Lukas Reichel, right? I mentioned before, I saw him play in Berlin. He was lighting it up. He was the hottest player on the ice. But unfortunately, since he's been in the NHL, since he's been with the Hawks, he's been the epitome of unfulfilled talent. He's reached his floor by proving that he can be a fourth-line player. But that's just not good enough, especially when he has a talent to be a top-line forward. So he should have had at least a 20-goal season by now. But instead, he's had 20 career goals over the last 4 seasons. Reichel has found inventive ways to work his way into the doghouse, unfortunately. This season should be his last shot to prove that he could still be an elite winger worthy of playing among the top 6. If he can't reach that level, then maybe it's time to cut bait and move on. Second player is a person we talked about not too long ago, Jason Dickinson. Dickinson scored a career-high 22 goals in the 23-24 season, and he was rewarded with a 2-year extension. And the hope was that Dickinson was kind of a late bloomer, that he's finally unlocked his ability to score goals by adjusting his shot. And instead, that season was basically a career year for him. He regressed to 16 points last season, but he was battling injuries. He was still solid on the defensive end, but he provided next to nothing offensively. So it would go a long way for him if he can return to being a solid two-way center this season. If he doesn't, then he could find his way out of Chicago, unfortunately. Third, and this one big fan of as well, and I really hope we get this done, is Wyatt Kaiser. He skated in a career-high 57 games last season. That's a great sign, right? It's a big jump from the 39 games he played in the 23-24 season. He still only had 4 assists this past season, and he got demoted to Rockford at one point. But the organization still thinks that the restricted free agent can be something since he was tendered a contract. He has yet to sign the new deal, but once he signs, he then has to prove that he belongs among a very talented collection of young defensemen. Hopefully, Kaiser provides better offensive support while using his speed to be in spots defensively to limit opponents' scoring chances. Moving his feet consistently has always been kind of a problem, but if he solves that problem, if he can fix that, then there's a chance that he proves to be a long-term piece of this puzzle. So I hope that we sign him. He's the last RFA that we have on the team. Let's get him signed. He's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of possibility. I hope that we get him in. I hope that he really proves to be a long-term solution for us. So we don't need any PTOs this year, and I don't mean paid time off. I mean professional tryouts. Professional tryouts are starting to be handed out around the league now, even though some players will still be signed to actual contracts before the season. Some PTOs always result in contracts with teams, but just because a player signs one doesn't mean he can't sign a contract with another team ahead of time either. The Blackhawks are one team that doesn't have to use PTO this preseason to test the waters of a player or two. We have more than enough veteran and young talent to fill the lineup than most, right? Kyle Davidson has said that he wants to keep some spots open to give young players the chance to earn it. And yeah, right, we haven't brought in a lot of veterans this offseason, and the whole conversation has been trying to use the young players to kind of be a key part of this rebuild. So here we are. That didn't happen last season, though, since we had too many veteran additions. So it's going to have to be a happy medium this year between the last 2 seasons, because now there's young players and prospects who are ready, and so much so that there's going to be a few that won't even make the team. So the Blackhawks are going to have 17 forwards that played NHL games last season, 9 defensemen, and 3 goalies, as well as our favorite ghost payroll Laurent Brossoit. Some, not all, players like Oliver Moore, Ryan Green, Colton Dock, Aiden Thompson, and Landon Slaggert may start in the AHL. By signing PTOs, that list grows, and many of them will get less than 20-25 games at the NHL level again. This is a young team that's trying to develop and improve at the same time. Some of these prospects are going to be impactful players and part of that process. They're going to have to earn it. That's something that Blashill keeps talking about. You have to earn your spot. But they also have to be given the opportunity to earn it as well. And if we get a bunch of PTOs in there, it's going to get too crowded. So we don't need them. Finally, let's talk a little bit about fantasy, because I love fantasy hockey. Bedard can actually be a key component for you this year. When one is selecting in the first round of fantasy hockey, you're going to see stars, and you're going to see names that we all know: Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, Nathan McKinnon, Leon Draisaitl, among others, of course, on the board. As currently constructed, the Chicago Blackhawks don't have more than a handful of players worth considering in the draft, unfortunately. Even though, of course, I tend to draft with my heart, that means I don't win many fantasy hockey leagues. Anyway, there is one Blackhawks player who could help win a title, and that's Bedard. He's had 20 goals and 60 points in each of his first 2 NHL seasons. These are disappointing numbers to some people because of the hype that he had coming into the league as a number 1 pick. But the truth is that these are big-time stats for an 18 to 19-year-old. Bedard has been fantasy worthy since he stepped onto the NHL ice, but his level of contribution has been that of just an above-average offensive producer. No one was going to be winning a championship with Bedard being one of their core pieces. With that said, Bedard could win people their league this coming year if all goes according to plan. He will likely be selected maybe in the 4th or 5th round, depending on how bullish teams are on his potential. The highest he's going to go is probably the 3rd round. Suppose he's taken in the 4th round or later and has an 80-point plus season for Chicago. Yesterday we talked about it. We think 70 is the floor. He can go up in the 90s potentially. So an 80-plus season is not unheard of. In his breakout season, being someone's 4th or 5th most productive forward would be an amazing core of players. The Blackhawks will have better players around Bedard this year. They haven't signed that elite winger in free agency yet, but having Frank Nazar, Sam Rinzel, Artem Levshinov, among others, to work with on a power play should help his point production and help his point totals rise. Teravainen, Bertuzzi, and others will get the chance at even strength, and it's on Bedard to make those players better overall in that situation. They're going to help each other out. Over the summer, Bedard has been working hard on his strength and his speed. He skipped the World Championships to stay at home, prepare for the upcoming NHL season, which was a display of maturity and thinking ahead, and suggests that he's ready to turn a corner because he's getting focused. If his preparation turns into results on the ice, both he and his teammates will look better in 25-26. That means more points for your fantasy hockey team. If Bedard is sitting there in the 4th round of your fantasy draft, he is absolutely worth a consideration because there's some incredible boom potential there without much risk of a bust. Personally, in my leagues, there's no way he's making it to the 4th round. There's just not. So, I don't know. Unless I have a very high, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go get Bedard. Just get him. Why not? If you're a Chicago Hawks fan, just draft Bedard. If you have the chance, get him. Why not? Put your stake in the ground. It's the 100th centennial season. He's our guy. Get Bedard. Just draft him. Screw everyone else. All right. Well, that's a wrap for today, Blackhawks Nation. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please continue to tune in every weekday. So this is your Friday. I'm off this weekend. I'm going to be going down to Fairbury I'm on a competitive barbecue team, so I'm going to be hopefully winning because we tend to do really well. So Diabolical Pig Barbecue, we're going to be kicking some ass on our competition. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay cool because it's going to be pretty hot and muggy. And I'll be seeing you Monday. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please continue to like and share about the channel. I really do appreciate that. Please subscribe if you haven't. And that's going to be it for today. So I'm PJ. I will see you next time on the Blackhawks Daily.